Hello, everyone, and welcome back after the long Christmas break.
Hello. Happy 2023.
Yeah, ready for another fun-filled year of.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Seems like a long time since we did our last live show a month ago.
It does, and that's the thing. Christmas always fucks me up like that because I always forget about the pre-record we do. We can do one really long session before Christmas, and then we kind of don't do anything for a while. And it really trips me up because today I got home and I was sitting. I had a pint on the way home as well, and I thought, oh, lovely. And I sat down. I thought, oh shit, I've got to jump on the computers.
Yeah, but it was nice to have a break. I think to have a clean break. But the community needs us, and there's some hot news this week. So
There is. I'm quite looking forward to this. We've got quite a lot of bits and pieces to talk about. So we should probably jump straight into it with new this fortnight.
New this fortnight.
So what did Father Christmas get you?
Yeah, well, I'll just give a shout out to the chat. We've got Takar3, Tyria, David Lenshin, Badfish, Ryan Smith, Captain Comic Fan, and Toy Mafia. Welcome all. Thanks for joining in. All the faithful, the gang. So
they never let us down. They're always here.
No. So I got my Inbox Studio Wampa in that you can see in my little Hoth display there. He came in. It was amazing, really, because they shipped out that first batch a little while ago because Ian Seaby got his, and I kept pestering them, and I said, "Oh, when you sending out?" And they said, "Oh, 15th of December," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well." What's the chances of that getting here before Christmas?
We had strikes as well before Christmas.
Yeah, we did have strikes, but basically it came like the day before before the Christmas Eve and the 23rd, 24th.
You bastard! None of my stuff did.
Absolutely brilliant. So I'm like, it's turned up. So I opened it up on Christmas Day. I said to Nick and Jack, and they were like, "What's in the box?" So I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to open it Christmas Day because it's fantastic.
It does look really good.
It's really good. The not rooted, but obviously the stuck on hair is flawless. Done a really good job on it. It's kind of nicely sort of weathered in terms of the fact that he's got I went with the non-bloody, but he's still got all kind of like drool and stuff, and there's different bits that are sort of yellowed and bits like that, and the base is cool as well. I was a bit worried that he wouldn't fit, but he obviously just fits.
Just about, yeah.
If he didn't, I was going to try and recess the foot bits in the base, if I needed to make a little bit of headroom. But luckily,
yeah, because I suppose that base is quite thick.
It is. So I would have just got my Dremel and just sort of give him a few mil. But as it stands, it's perfect, and I don't need to bother. So yeah, I've been looking forward to him, and I think he really kind of sets off my little Hoth display there. So
yeah, you've done well there. I really like that.
Yeah, he's really good. And I got the Bela Lugosi as Dracula from Caustic Plastic. That was the one I was talking about on a few shows before Christmas. Saying
that's another one that looks really good.
Yeah, I really wanted one, and I was kind of looking at the prices, and they weren't really adding up for me. But I will lay myself at the mercy of the chat here, but I bought the Exo 6 motion picture Kirk, and I sold him on eBay for 3 times what I paid for him.
Which
some people no, just
chanced your arm and had a look.
Yeah, because he sold out in an hour, and I was looking on eBay and I saw what they were going for, so I thought I'll put him on there. It took a little while, but someone bought him on Christmas Day. And I think there's someone that I've sold to before. Yeah. And I know people, but I did genuinely. I bought it to keep it, but when I saw what was going on with the prices and everything, and I didn't really want to pick up Spock, so effectively, Bela Lugosi's was free.
Yeah, and to be fair, you have said all along, like Admiral Kirk is your goal.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
For the Twok, the Rotha Khan ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So
you were never really going to keep it all the way for years and years, were you?
I wasn't. No, it was always going to be a stand-in. And I didn't really like the Spock. I don't like that sort of the outfit, the Vulcan outfit.
Yeah.
I don't think it looked that good. So I thought, actually, I'm just gonna cash in, and obviously, and then allowed me. I think he's cost me about £10, Dracula. So I can't knock that, can I?
That shows how fucking expensive it is.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. So I got him. I bought him from Italy, and I chatted backwards and forwards with. It was a retailer.
Yeah.
Because obviously Caustic Plastic are in Italy anyway, and we talked about whether he'd mark it down, and he was a bit like, well, no, but then I'm going to insure it for less. I said, oh, do you know what? I thought, well, I'm basically getting it for free, so just mark it as what it is. And I had to pay.
I'd never get how people don't see the difference between.
No, they're not
the custom, what you put on the customs form, and what you insure it for are two different things.
Exactly.
They're two different forms that go off to two different people.
They are. They are. And if I said, if it gets lost, who's ever going to see that customs form? Because it's lost. So you declared that it was worth this, but anyway. He wasn't going to do it, so I said, you know what, just mark it up. I don't care. I'll take the hit, because I knew I was getting it for gratis, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I got a FedEx bill for like £60, paid that, and unfortunately I haven't had time to unbox it, because I was kind of thinking I'd like to do an unboxing for the channel. And like yourself, I've been really busy with work and bits and pieces. I haven't really got to it, so I've just put a picture of the box, but obviously... hopefully the next week or so I'll get round to maybe filming an unboxing. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about that one, because
it does look really good. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, because I don't have a emotional attachment to the character, but objectively it's a really nice looking figure. It's really well done.
It's a fairly simple outfit, but they've just done it brilliantly, and the head sculpts are spot on, and as I said to you before, because I'm collecting the NECA, and I know that's a dirty word at the moment, because CW crew are trying to get us to boycott NECA, but I am buying the Universal Monsters line, and I will continue to do that. So, but I wanted to. The idea was I have Dracula at the back with his cape open as like a backdrop, and then have them all in front. So I've got to work out where that will go. But that's the plan, and if they get to any of the others in the future, if they end up getting Boris Karloff and they do a Frankenstein, obviously then I'll pick some others up. But for the moment, I think like Dracula's like the daddy. He's the original, and so that's cool.
I've seen some really good Frankenstein sculpts.
Yes, there are some really good ones.
And you could probably, if you got hold of the old Sideshow one, you could probably just upgrade the sculpts and arms.
Yeah.
Same with the Wolfman and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they're not
exactly. Like with Frankenstein's monster, you just need the head and the arms.
Yeah.
And you can do quite a good custom on that. So that might be worth thinking about. If you have a look, I'll see if I can find some files. Maybe if I find anything, I'll send them over to you.
I think have a look on eBay, because I think I've seen one on there when I searched for unpainted head sculpts. It's just the arms you'd have to find, but that shouldn't be too hard.
No, and I have seen them. I know that people do them. So I get the NECA thing, and I'd like to support Marco, but
I'm boycotting them because I just can't find anything I want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've not even bought the Back to the Future stuff, and that's pretty good.
Nah.
So
I just
you've resisted. So
problem is once you got a 6-scale Delorean, you kind of don't want to take the step down.
No, and obviously and they haven't made a Delorean either, so it's just figures. So that's So that's me. I think I've got a few pre-orders and stuff. There's stuff that kind of got shifted to Q1, like Gollum, Smeagol, a few bits and pieces. Although I may have made a few purchases, pre-orders this week, so I'm going to have to let some of my...
I wonder what that could be.
There might be surprises as well. So I'm going to be letting a few of my POs go. So I'm probably not going to get the joke, the Cesar Romero Joker and the Batman and Robin now. I don't know where I'd put them anyway. that's fine because I bought them on a bit of a whim.
Yeah.
I think for those I probably lost about 70 quid. I might take them and resell them, or I might just say nah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so what have you got, mate? You got quite a few.
I got
bits and
quite a
pieces.
haul because of the postage strikes, so I wasn't as lucky as you. All my stuff didn't turn up until that gap between Christmas and New
Okay.
Year.
And then
Because
they just came and just like emptied a wheelbarrow onto your.
yeah, do you know what? I
doorstep.
felt really bad for the little postman because this little postman who looked like Harry Potter, he must have been about like 12 years old, and over Christmas it pissed it down here. Like
Yes.
stair rods, absolutely pissed it down.
Yeah.
Now, the way our houses are is we're all joined together, and we have this little room I'm sitting poking out the front, so you can kind of see the postman walk past the front window. And next door aren't great at opening their front door. Okay, people will bang on that fucker for ages before they open it. So I hear this banging, and I've seen the postman walk past, my normal postman, and I'm like, it's fucking next door. No one's answering. Bang, 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 bang. My missus is like, Ian, it's the fucking postman. Go answer the door. I was like, oh shit. Open the door, and this poor kid is just fucking drenched holding this box. Like, I was like, I'm really sorry, mate. Took it off him. But my missus, for my birthday, she got me the Horus Heresy box set. And it turned up the same day as my Doc Brown, which was all meant to turn up before Christmas, but because of the postage strikes. And then it also meant that the tracking was all over the place. So it was like, out for delivery, no it's not. Oh, it's out for delivery, no it's not. And then it fucking eventually turned up. But the Horus Heresy stuff is absolutely fantastic. It's by far the most value for money I've had buying any type of box set. So you get the core rules, the rule book itself, which is like 50 quid on its own. That Spartan Land Raider, which is the little tank under the bottom.
Okay,
You get the two Praetors, which are the two guys in the white armour I painted up. And about 10 Terminators and 30 odd. All in all, is like 150 models in a box set for 100. And it cost 130 quid. It's insane value, and I've wanted to play Horus Heresy for a while. And she was like, "Well, if you want it, I'll get it for your birthday." So, yes, please. So I've been painting them up, which is taking.
So these other chaps
ages.
here from that set as well.
Yeah, so those two on the right, they're the two Praetors. They're like the two captains. So the idea is you buy this box set and it gives you enough to play a game against each other.
Yeah.
But actually, it gives you enough that if you don't want to play against someone else and they have their own models, you've got quite a large force there. So I'm just painting it all up as old-fashioned Death Guard. And I really thought, well, I'm going to take my time now and I'm going to paint these ones up as best as I possibly can. And I'm going to try and paint the face, because you've got the option with a lot of them. You can either put on helmets or actual faces. So I put a lot of actual faces on them. And I thought, right, I'm going to give it a go, painting them like I do a 6-scale head. Well, that was wildly optimistic. Like, there's no chance I can do that. It just doesn't happen. So I tried my best to paint them as realistic as I could, and I think they came out okay.
Oh, they look brilliant.
But what I've done now is based these two, and I need to do the tank. I've sprayed that up, ready to go. The Terminators. So each of those little dudes, the two on their own, took 8 hours each to paint. The Terminators, I'm trying to do 5 in 8 hours because I paint so slowly when it comes to this lot that if I've got 150 odd models and I'm taking 8 hours each to paint, it's just going to be a ball ache. So any of the really cool little models I like, I don't mind spending the time on. Stuff like the Terminators, they look cool, but I want to get those knocked out as quickly as I can. And then I've got like 100 actual normal Space Marines to do as well. And then what isn't pictured here is I then bought a 40k Death Guard army, the Combat Patrol for that, so I've actually got that to do as well. So I've got a lot of painting to do. But my focus lately has so much been on 40k and miniatures and stuff like that. It was nice to get Doc Brown back in, because I kind of went, actually, I was half out the door, and this has kind of pulled me back in. which has been quite nice.
I was just going to say before you move on to Doc, I think the paintwork on those two old boys there is absolutely fantastic, and I don't think like people can appreciate it. So you've posted them up on your Dark Side Customs.
Yeah,
Facebook.
they're up on Dark Side
Customs. People want to have a look. Go on there and like really zoom into it, because I had a quick look, like, and it's just phenomenal. Like, I just
cheers.
Brilliant. Like, even just looking there, like just the tone on the skulls and stuff. You've not just done it white. You've got, it really looks like bone and stuff.
So I'm a massive fan of washes. So I'm a really old-fashioned miniature painter. I can't get my head around this new way of priming stuff up and then putting a layer over it and then another layer here and this, that, the other. I literally, that armour is white spray paint with different washes over the top, and then I've let it pool in places. I've not tried to wipe it off or anything. And then I've gone in and just picked out other bits and pieces and then more washes and stuff like that. I've tried to take my time with these.
As well. It's just how clean it is, because you haven't got any, like, when you think how small those things are, and you've got really clean lines and everything, it doesn't seem like you've got any kind of bits where you go, oh, hang on a minute, he's kind of got, he's got some smudge in there, or he's gone over the lines. That's what I.
So I can see it. I can see exactly where I've done that, and it really annoys me.
But I bet you can. But to the layman, to the
This heresy stuff has by far been my favourite stuff to paint. But there's one glaring thing I've missed, and not a lot of people have noticed it. But it's when I point it out, you go, oh, fucking hell, how'd you do that? Apparently, in the 30th millennia, no cunt has eyebrows.
Oh, right, okay.
Completely didn't do them. I completely forgot. I've gone in and tried to do the eye and everything. And then I've completely just forgotten about the fact they've got eyebrows. But yeah,
that's an easy one to do. But and again, like you talked us through how you do the blood and stuff. That looks really good on that sword. All nice and gungy and sticky.
The thing I find with some of the miniature stuff is that people don't. Everything is one finish. There's nothing shiny or nothing's matte. It's either one or the other. So with the stuff like the blood and gore, I try and get that as sticky and horrible looking as possible,
shiny,
so that it.
Exactly.
So that it just gives it a bit of contrast. Because at the moment, everything else is, and there's the cat litter bases as well. That always comes in quite handy. Cool. Since that, I've given them a wash of browns and stuff like that, so they actually look better than that.
The bases,
But yeah, so I've got all that to paint up, and I've got the Death Guard to do. But like I said, my foot was I was halfway out the door when it came to 6 scale, because
I thought
price.
You actually meant you were out the door and then the postman turned up.
No, I was literally
metaphorical.
Because of over. Do you know I said I had like mold issues in this room, and I shit the bed and fucking packed everything away, and now this room is a lot smaller because that display case is about 10 centimeters off the wall.
So you've done your work, have you?
I've done my work. I've got a dehumidifier on the go all the time, and it seems to have done what I want.
Right.
But what I did do was, because I packed everything away, I said, right, these bottom 3 cubes are all going to be Warhammer, because I'm not spending 8 hours on a model to paint it to fucking stick it in. To stick it in a box. So I was like, right, 6 cubes. My focus is pretty much going to be Star Wars. That's what I love, so I'm going to keep it. I've kept my one Batman, which is in a little cube here, and obviously Doc's sitting there for now, so I can bug him upstairs with the DeLorean, and then India go there. But I was like, they're the only ones. I've got a box upstairs of Evil Dead in a cube, so I'm happy to keep those kind of where they are. So I want to stick to 6 cubes of Star Wars. And I was like, when I was packing it all away, I thought, do you know what? If I pack it away and I don't miss it, I'll sell the lot. And there were bits and pieces I had where I was like, I do miss some of it, but not all of it. So I thought, I'll tell you what I'll do. Over Christmas, I will get it all out and I'll start putting it back. And actually, if there's anything that I don't want, I will just shove it back in a box and I'll sell it February. Because I've still got the rest of the Back to the Future stuff coming in, so I need to pay for that.
The Back to the Future 3
and to be fair, before Christmas I sold 2 figures and got enough to buy a Steam Deck. So it's like sometimes it's quite tempting when you want other stuff just to go, I'll get rid of this and this.
It is, and obviously where the prices have gone rocketed up, then obviously you're sitting on more. Although it's bad the other way because it's more expensive to buy stuff, and you have to. But if you've got stuff you want to sell, some stuff, like I was said, some stuff will just sit and it won't go. But if you're selling the right thing at the right time, you're getting good money for stuff.
Yeah, exactly that. So I put it all back out, displayed it how I wanted to, and I thought, actually, I'm happy with the Star Wars stuff. The rest of the stuff, the odds and ends that are kind of like, I sold the Nicholson Joker and stuff like that because I was like, actually, I don't. It's nice, and I like Batman, and I like all of that. And I thought, right, that can go, not a problem. And I've kind of got my Bale Batman that I'm going to get rid of, and there's a few other bits and pieces, but they're packed up, and I'll get rid of them. So I'm pretty much focusing on Star Wars. So like I said, Doc came in, and I think I left it probably. I think I opened it up just to have a look. Went, oh, very nice. And I don't think I actually bothered to unpack it for probably about 4 or 5 days. And then when I did, I sat out here and did it. And it was when I was so I stripped the fat suit off because that is just an absolute
me too.
monstrosity.
It is.
It's just such a waste of time. And then I thought, right, okay, so I had a big old moan up about the cardboard box, the plutonium box. And actually, it's not bad.
It's not that bad, is it?
The only thing I don't like is the fact they charged you extra for it. They shouldn't have charged you extra for it.
Yeah.
But actually, it's decent enough. I've got files. I printed out a little prototype one that was ever so slightly too big. But actually, in fact, I use it now to keep little spare bits I printed in. But actually, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, so I'm not that worried.
Worth the bother, is it?
No, it's not worth the aggro. So
I think it takes a piss that they did that, and people are right to be annoyed about it, particularly as we paid like 20 quid more for that.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it actually looks all right.
Yeah, like
how you've got it displayed there. You know,
I'm never gonna, for the effort of printing a new one, painting it up, fucking sticking all the foam in, chroming the crate. It's just not worth the aggro.
I don't think it's worth it. And
no,
I've got mine in the shelf, but because it's in my like 80s shelf, you can't see it anyway. So I'm really not.
No, exactly that. What I was really impressed with was the belt and all the accessories and shit you get on that. There's
I love all that.
Tons of it. It's really good. My only frustration is the stuff that clips in his pocket here.
I know. Yeah.
It just, because the way you do it, it all just suddenly starts to fall off, or you nudge it and it comes off. And like, for fuck's sake.
You have to do that bit last. You have to kind of get everything else right, and then come back and do that bit.
Yeah.
But
exactly
like,
that.
You know, we've talked about the head sculpt, and you did a little repaint on yours as well. I think other than that, everything else is brilliant. All the gear, it's all spot on. You know, it looks great.
The head sculpt is a decent head sculpt. It looks like him. You can tell who it is. The only problem is it's so out of context for the scene it's trying to portray, because of the whole point was he was a lot older, and it just doesn't.
There's 2 points. There's the fact they left the holes in, inexcusable really, and as you say, the paintwork isn't right for, it needed a new sculpt because it needed more wrinkles and stuff in it. There's only so much you can do with paint, but you know, it is a bit annoying. But as you say, I think with a bit of a repaint, I think it works for me. I might pick up the Dean Tolliver one at some point, but I'm not in a rush to do that.
I'm not a massive fan of it. If I'm honest, there's one I painted probably about 2 years ago now, and I wish I knew who did it because it was really good.
Pull up while you're talking. I'm going to
Dean Tolliver one. I think just looks a little too cartoony.
Yeah, you might. This one, someone's done. I'm just going to find it. Someone's done a paint up of it. It's the unhaired one. which obviously they're going to have to hair it, but
Because
that
the renders
looks
of the
better.
unhaired one looks really good.
Yeah. I think there's something
But
about the other
when
one
I've
that doesn't quite.
Yeah, when I've seen a print
quite
of the haired one,
Yeah, I think. I mean, if I bought one, I think I'd have to go for the unhaired. But then obviously you've got to do. You know, I don't know.
I mean, his hair
No,
his hair in this is pretty like wild and messy. So you
yeah,
can get away
exactly.
with it.
And as I said before, because it's white, then you can. It kind of gives you.
It's
a little
quite
bit of-
forgiving.
yeah, with the glue and stuff. But let me just. Here we go. So if I just share this one, I think I have to do stop screen, present, share screen, tab. This one. Yeah, so that's quite nice. That looks quite good there.
Yeah.
This
See,
one
that
here.
looks great. But
Yeah.
when you see the one with the haired
Yes.
one,
Yeah.
it don't look great.
No, and I think there's one. I mean, there's one. The paint work is not good on this one, so I'll warn you. But look, I mean that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
that is the
That
thing,
that
sculpt.
doesn't look like the same sculpt.
No, it doesn't. You know, that looks like a cartoon version.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as well painted, so it's difficult to
But
to
look at the
judge, but-
details. The details are really soft on it.
Yeah.
When you look at the other one, everything's
Yeah,
pronounced.
The other one looks brilliant. Like that one, I think that
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah, look at the detail on it.
So yeah,
The actual
I
sculpted
know, it's
detail.
funny. Yeah, it does look different, doesn't it?
Oh, and it makes a great Uncle Fester, but
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Hmm.
But so you know, I think it can look good. But yeah, I'm not in a desperate hurry. But it might be
No.
something that you know.
it's one of
that
those
same
sculpts.
problem. Yeah,
It pops up every now and again. Someone does one and it looks great. I was even looking at statues, Back to the Future statues that you can
Yeah.
print. See if I could just chop the head off of one.
Right.
But I couldn't see much. Again, everything was really cartoony or had that same expression.
yeah.
Like I would have liked just to have him not look like that, because in that scene he doesn't look that shocked that much because he's the one. He knows what's happening.
Exactly,
He's
he
the one
built the
showing
bloody
Marty.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I think, like Captain Confidence says, would you paint his aging? Well, I did. Did you just paint the hair? Did you?
I just did the hair. I went to give it a wash, but I was like, it's not actually going to do much of anything. And when you actually pull up reference photos, and that's what I quite like about that other paint up. They had like the discoloured neck piece and stuff like that
Yeah.
that he had on.
Yes.
I just thought I'm not going to get anywhere near.
No, I mean I did do mine a bit. I just kind of washed him out a bit more, just to, and I sort of put sort of the little bags under the eyes and stuff, and I think it made a marginal improvement. But yeah, because you say like what I find funny is that he was about the same age as me when he made that film, 40,
Yeah.
like 47, 48. But they made him up to look like he was in his 70s, you know.
Yeah,
So
even when you see him in films when he's in his like 20s and 30s, he's never looked young.
no, he's always.
What was that
he's always
taxi
been a-
program he was in? He always looked
That's it,
old in
yeah.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's like old before his time kind of thing.
Yeah.
But obviously in Back to the Future 1, he was made up to
Yeah.
look like he was, in his 70s, wasn't he? So, they obviously haven't captured that, which is a shame. But overall, it's a great figure. I wouldn't put people off buying it. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
All I'd like now is to find someone make a decent Einstein
Yeah, because that
rather than the melted
that one that
candle.
comes with the second release Marty is just fucking awful.
It's horrible, and it's
I
funny.
don't
because
think the Marty looks that good either. If I'm honest.
No,
I think that whole
prefer the
release was a
original.
bit.
I mean, maybe some of the clothing might be better. I don't know, but I'm not a fan of the sculpt.
No.
God, the dog's farted. It really fucking stinks. So if it looks like I kind of wrinkling my nose a bit,
Yeah.
that's why. So it's bad. Where was I? No, that's completely thrown me.
Well, it's probably
So an Einstein, yeah. So it's annoying because Mr. Z has made loads and loads of dogs but
Yeah,
nothing
decent
that's
ones.
yeah, but nothing that's remotely like Einstein.
No.
And if they did, they'd make a killing, I reckon. But
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to pay a license for a dog. You
No.
can make whatever dog you want.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, we've got his stopwatch now. You've got it round Doc's neck, same as me. But one of those is the one for Einstein.
Yeah. Because he takes
So
it
it'd
off.
be
and puts it
cool
on
to
it.
get one at some point, but you know, I'm sure there's files out there or something where.
Oh, I've had a look.
Have
And there
you?
isn't. The only
There
one.
isn't
The
anything
only one.
decent.
No, there's the guy who makes this plutonium box. He does a load of Back to the Future stuff because he's got files to print the whole DeLorean, and he's got files to do like the Lion Estates bit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's got an Einstein on there, but it doesn't look much better. I mean, I might get it just to see and print it and see what it's like.
Yeah.
But I think it's meant to be for a slightly smaller scale, so the detail might not be there.
Yeah.
But I'll have a look. Because I don't think it's expensive. But he's the guy who did the he did the whole Empire Vader. And I printed off I shrunk down and printed off one of the heads and melded it with the other one. So he did all that, which is quite good.
So I've seen some mad things on like eBay. I think someone was selling, and obviously if you printed it yourself, but someone was selling all the parts to build a 1/6 scale skiff from Return of the Jedi. It was like £900 or something. Like, hell, but I mean, that'd be massive.
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
massive.
Huge. It'd be huge.
I couldn't believe that someone had done that.
And the thing is now, because the resin printers, the Mighty, I think you call it Mighty M something or other, Anycubic have bought out, it's fucking huge. Like the stuff you can now print in resin is just insane, like size-wise. But anything like that, I'd still want to go FDM just to get the strength.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that must probably about, I'd say it's at least 2 meters long, if not more.
Well, how big was the sail barge, Jabba's sail barge that Hasbro did?
The Hasbro one, that's probably about 2 meters. So
so you're probably looking about that for a 6 scale skiff.
Yeah, it would be amazing if you had all the that, but where the fuck would you put that?
Yeah, so, exactly. That's the thing. So look, let's have a look at some of the new releases from the last couple of weeks.
New releases.
And it looks like
going here.
Yeah, I think we have. We're back on Back to the Future. So if you got a spare £800, and that's a cheap price compared to a lot of the places I could find, plus a bit of postage on top, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg. Or if you're going with a certain online retailer, it's probably another £800 on top as well.
Yeah, because they advertise it at like 527 quid, but when you stick the postage on, it's going to probably double that. So.
But I do hear if you do a little review for them, they just ship it out to you for free.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, so £800 if you're lucky. Now I'm quite lucky because I have the first DeLorean, so I've got no intention of doing this. I like it; it looks good. But for what I'm looking at, it's more of the same with a new back and new wheels. So I'm fine with what I've got, if I'm honest.
This is the secret pre-order that I didn't plan on.
Oh, you did you?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Nice.
So I've ordered it with Collectibles Direct, UK-based company. Used them before. They're kosher. So they had it for $840, including overnight shipping.
Nice.
Which it wasn't bad, to be honest. I think that was pretty much par for the course. There was no way I was going to order it from overseas.
Yeah, just think about them.
Like, it's too much. It's too risky for it to get broken, I think. And also, I don't want that unknown. Am I going to get hit with customs? Blah blah blah. So, I ordered it with that. Yeah, and I really wasn't going to, because I owned the original one.
Yeah.
And loved it to bits. But I kind of thought, he's done it again, man. What's he been eating? It's been at my mum and dad's for 2 days. So they've probably been feeding him fucking hot dogs and all sorts of shit. So that's bad. I I didn't really have an intent to buy. I saw the pictures and thought, it looks brilliant. You know, I love that they've sort of, you know, done stuff that the original should have had, like the light up circuits and the dashboard and all that kind of thing. And then I watched the unboxing video and I thought, do you know what? I'm gonna go for it. And obviously I had to put like 10% down. I'm not sure when they're gonna get it. It said Q4, but obviously it's been pulled forward, so maybe it'll be like halfway through the year. Again, I'm going to be a bit of a heathen because I will be displaying it with the Part 1 Doc and Marty. Doesn't really bother me. Obviously, the only issue you've got really is Mr. Fusion and the license plate. But I'll have it displayed where you'll see the front of it anyway. You know, so I think I'm happy with that. But
well, technically, all you would really need is if you bought the cheapo Marty from Present Toys, you could still have it as a Back to the Future 1 DeLorean and it'd be accurate. You just do it from the end of the film.
Yeah, definitely. So there's you know, there's options. I know Doc isn't in the he's in that outfit there, but I think I possibly maybe regretted selling, and it was like the one thing in my collection that the missus actually really liked and was you know, she was a bit upset when I sold it. So not that I'm going to tell her how much it is and that she'll applaud me for rebuying it, if you like. But I couldn't not. So so that's the third pre-order that I placed this week. It's been an expensive week. It's going to be an expensive year, but I think it's worth it.
Definitely. I mean, the DeLorean's iconic. So if you know, and if you were to go back and buy the first version again, you're not going to be spending £800. You're going to be spending, and I don't think this is going to have any impact on the value of the first one whatsoever.
No, because if you really want the first one, like the back of this is completely different. It's, you know, it would be a lot of work to retrofit it. And I sold the first one for about 1,000. So whilst that money's long gone, it's not like I put it in a in a box and I've just taken it out and I'll rebuy it. I've spent that long time ago, but you know, it's justifiable in my head. And I think they've done a good job. And all this talk about InArt doing one, I mean, I don't know why they would bother. And who's going to pay like 2,000? I mean, don't get me wrong, we're going to talk about their figures and fucking amazing, but this sort of thing, you know, do you really need it made out of metal and, you know, costing $2,000 and stuff like that? I think.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty that Hot Toys, because when you watch the film and then you look at the vehicle Hot Toys have put out for 1 and 2, you go, where's that? There's loads missing off of it. But for me, it's always been one thing I'm going to do is to do bits to it. So I will put carpet on the floor of it. I will get some fucking pedals for it because they never put those in. You know, I will put all the wiring in that they haven't done because there's loads of it they haven't.
There is.
If InArt was to do a DeLorean, all right, it would be fantastic because everything they've done so far is fantastic. But the price is going to be so expensive that I'm just going to go, actually, I'm fine with what I've got. And I think so. Yeah, hit the nail on the head here. If InArt do one, it'll come taxed and MOT.
Yeah, definitely, and it will actually travel through time. I mean,
it will cost more than I paid for my very first car.
Well, this one does.
So, I mean, that is true.
To be fair,
that is true.
So I think, you know, InArt has got its place and stuff, but I think, you know, when this is 800 anyway, and you could be looking at 3 times the price, I'd be more than happy with this. And I was more than happy with the first one, but this one I think is, you know, just tops it a little bit. And the fact that you can obviously turn it into the hover mode, and they fix the wheels, you know, kudos to Hot Toys.
If InArt did a Doc and Marty, then I'd probably be up for that. But
that's
Yeah.
fine. You can kind of go right. I can go from 250 to 400. Okay, for a figure, but to go from 800 to 1500, 2000, it kind of, I think it's pushing that envelope a bit for most normal collectors.
yeah.
But so I'm excited for this. That'll be good.
Yeah. Very good pickup there, Pete.
Yep.
And just in the nick of time, through
Yeah,
the boy.
it's funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So 100. The name is just mental. 145 quid for this. Now, look, I'm not gonna tear this to bits. I think it's probably a good pickup for a lot of people. I'm not a fan of that head sculpt because it looks like it's just been ripped off of the newer Hot Toys head sculpts and just not done very well. But there are other head sculpts out there that you can use that you could plonk on it.
Yeah,
but
and we know that Present Toys, they're good with the clothing and bits and pieces, so I think everything else is fine. And if you just want a Marty to stick in a DeLorean, either the first one or the second one, can't go wrong for 145 quid.
No, I mean I was tempted to grab this to try and find a leather jacket, so I could have him as kind of the disguised version from 2 when he's trying to follow Biff. But at the moment, this soon after Christmas, 150 quid ain't on the cards. So it ain't gonna happen.
And they're giving you the guitar as well. Yeah, look, if you want the guitar, you want the glasses, because obviously the glasses didn't come with the 2.0.
No.
That came with Einstein. They didn't get the glasses. I mean, you could pick up glasses. I mean, that's not.
The glasses are so
issue.
Iconic as part of, because the whole, if you look at like Doc, they've really gone down the road of going, well, he's like that because we're trying to produce the poster and that, and just not to include it seemed a bit weird.
The only thing I can think is that, they listened to John and they thought, well, it's not fair to, we've got to leave something out so that the people that bought the original one aren't going to be completely pissed off.
But you didn't get the guitar with the first one unless you got the exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might as well have just given them the glasses.
Yeah.
Like it just seems a weird thing to omit from the 2.0. But yeah, 145 quid. I think that's too bad. I could do that. So we've had a DeLorean and now we want a Mandalorian.
Oh, I like it, mate. Like it.
Hey, look at that. He's
Yeah.
a dirty old Mando for 315 quid plus postage. I think this looks great. I
it does.
genuinely do like it. I just think they've gone a bit too heavy on the weathering. But
we've seen quite a lot of people.
Yeah, has everyone on Facebook is doing getting a bit of white spirit.
Yeah.
That makes them all customizers now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I had my armour chromed by Jason Darren ages ago. So I've been living in the future for quite a while now. And this looks so much better than the last release, like straight out the box. I like the head sculpts. I like it all. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not paying 315 quid for it. No, I had it put on pre-order and I cancelled it because actually
I've
what
still
I've
got him coming.
Yeah, I mean, I've already seen people like Craig Grant with like 3 or 4 of them splitting them out.
I know. I don't know how he managed to acquire so many or what he paid for them. But.
For 150 quid for the armour set, I'd be picking them up.
Yeah, I know. So I totted it up and you're looking at like 750, 800 for if he sold everything on each figure.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be fair, this is going to go like that. Like, people will have it. The only thing I think they fucked up on a little bit is the Season 2 thigh pad. Yeah. For some reason, they chromed the shit out of that, and that is not chrome. No. That came off of a droid. Like, it's not a chrome droid.
No, it's not.
It's one of I think it's one of IG's ones, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So yeah, but everything else, all the other accessories look really good. I really want the satchel. All I need for my Mando is the satchel, and I was going to weather up my chrome, but not like this. But yeah, I quite like
the satchel for Grogu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got this coming. I didn't go for the deluxe one with the Boba Fett stuff and the swoop bike handle thing. Yeah, I don't know if I'll keep it or not. I might move it on. I might split it. I have to see. I'm second batch for toys by an agent, so I imagine probably in the next couple of months I'll get that. Get an invoice for that. But yeah, it does look good. It does look good, and the head sculpt's really good.
Yeah, it does look great. They've done well there. Credit where credit's due. They've done well.
Yeah,
they've done well. And then while we're on the Mando train, we've got Cully for 210.
got his little buddy.
Yeah, he looks good. I like that. But 210 just rubs you up the wrong way for such a little figure.
Yeah, I know. But then that's like, you see the price that the Yodas go for. Very difficult to kind of, pony up 300 quid for one of those. So it doesn't seem to make any difference. Yeah, I think he looks good. I think you'll find his name is Quill.
Quill, sorry. Quill.
That's all right. I'd be interested to see whether people pick him up to, do a custom Ugnaught from Empire. Because it's the first ever Ugnaught we've had in 6 scale. No one's done one. Sideshow never did one. It depends really how much, because obviously that hat flying helmet thing is obviously attached, and I don't know sort of how much is underneath. I mean, they just have sort of wild, crazy hair, a bit like Doc, so you might be able to get away with it. Put him in a little like doctor's outfit or something, but yeah, I think he looks good.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Looks like he did in the show.
Yeah, spot on. And then you can get him and the Blurg for 450 plus postage. So the Blurg is almost as much as him.
Yeah.
That's what I struggle with 6 scale sometimes. Yeah. Is the justification of some of these, particularly when you can buy them together for a certain amount. And I get like with most stuff, you buy stuff individually, it's a little bit more expensive, but that just seems a bit weird. I mean, I really like the Blurg, and if I could find one relatively cheap, I'd get one and plonk my Mando on it, because they are cool.
Yeah, they are good. I think when you compare like the amount of plastic you're getting for that compared to Quill, then obviously it's a bit, but his outfit looks pretty good. So
he's really well done. Really well done.
Job,
yeah. So that's it for Mando stuff. We're back onto Marvel with the Spider-Man integrated suit.
Probably won't spend too long on these because we're kind of we've seen enough Spider-Mans.
I get very confused because they all look the same to me. So this one's $315 plus postage, and I was like, isn't this? I swear they've done this before. Like they've released this, and I was like, oh, okay, they have. It's the Iron Spider with some slight differences. And again, but that's not Hot Toys' fault. That's just the way they designed the costume. But yeah, there was that, and then there was the Mark V suit up version, which feels like we talk about this every other week.
I know.
Like, how many more versions of this do we need? Oddly enough, this one's only 290 quid plus postage, which seems cheap for an Iron Man.
It did seem cheap. I mean, it's plastic, I think, but because obviously there's lots of different options. You can have all sorts of bits and pieces on him or not, or you can have his hands in the suitcase. I think it's okay. I think it almost looks better, like, than the Protos. Really, I think it's turned out all right for what it is. But I mean, I don't have any interest in it.
No.
But yeah, it looks all right, and the price, as you say, for an Iron Man and for sort of what you get here, I think it's all right. IKEA flat pack Iron Man.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I do like that. Yeah.
And apparently it's an absolute bitch to pose as well.
I bet it is.
All the opening out bits.
I bet the moment you move something, it all just falls off.
It just all falls off, yeah. You're like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, it looks like a nightmare. It's you pose it, you put it on a shelf, you leave it be. You don't touch that. You do not touch that at all.
No. I think, and again, I think it's one of those difficult ones. I think it almost like gives you too many options, like how you decide how you wanted it displayed, and
I mean, there's arguments for 6 scale statues. Like, you know, this screams out. You do a 6-scale statue, do it well.
Yeah.
And then not have, because no one's going to be posing this absolutely mentally, are they? Unless you're going for him on that right hand side where he's just in his racing suit.
You can put just certain bits on, or you can have his hands in the opened up. So I think you get quite a lot for you know, in this set. But I mean, it's a very old film now, isn't it? Iron Man 2.
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, yeah. And then we got the DC side of things, the King Shark. This is £186 plus postage. I quite like this, but if I walked in with that and said I paid 186 quid for this, people put the straight jacket on me. They go, what? Eh? I mean, it looks good. I quite liked him in the film. I didn't think the film was as bad as everyone made out, but
it's certainly better than the first effort. The first Suicide Squad film is much better than that.
Without the rest
it was a good
of
laugh.
the squad, though.
It made me laugh. You know, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we would talk about that. I mean, you can get obviously Peacemaker's coming from his TV show. That would work. And there's third party, the Idris Elba, and the Polka Dot Man. So you could kind of, and you could stick a Harley in. So you could do it. I think it looks really cool, but as you say, it'd be hard to justify, 180 quid. Because there's not a lot of posability. I mean, obviously the arms will move up and down, and the hands and the feet twist.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Do you know when people had the piss taken out of them when they bought that KO Hulk? When they were building, when people were building the Avengers, it was like, it looks fucking shit. It barely moves. It's nowhere near like the proper one. Well, Hot Toys have just released the same thing, put a shark fucking head on it. Right. It's got the same In fact, it's probably got less articulation because you don't look like you can move the fucking feet.
No, you can't. No, from that hole from the head down to the ankles is solid. There's no movement there at all. So
4 points of articulation, like Defence said. Yeah.
Well, I think it's 6 because you can rotate the arms, you can rotate the hands, and you can swivel the feet. So it's 6. But
okay.
You're not really going to swivel the feet because he just looks like a dickhead if his feet are pointing outwards. So
he's bow-legged.
Yeah, exactly.
Bow-legged shark man.
There's not really much posability there.
Yeah.
But I think it does look good, and if it would look good on the shelf. He's quite a big, hefty figure. But yeah, it's just a bit tricky, like who you'd pose him with and that. But I think they've done it. I like the paint job and stuff. I think it looks decent. The mouth probably needs a bit more detail in it.
Yeah,
it just seems very flat, doesn't it? But
I suppose if you're building a general DC collection and you like the villains, great. This will probably do. For much else. I'm not sure about the shorts. Interchangeable.
No, there's been some. I don't know what, because quite a few of us remember them showing like the orange prison shorts. But
wasn't that the other company though? There was another company
one,
doing because they had him sitting in the cell.
Correct.
So unless we're just getting confused with that.
No, I think there was. I think there was a third party, and I can't remember whether that's come out or what have you, or if it's still going ahead.
Because it was announced about the same time as this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that had the orange shorts. Yeah, but I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world to even make your own. I mean, it's if you wanted to get some orange shorts for him, but not really a lot of point if you've not got other figures in prison gear, really. So
that's the thing.
Keep him in his denims, leave his little PP alone.
Shark Wang.
But yeah, he's good. It's something different. It's very different to what we normally see. Yeah. So I can't I applaud Hot Toys for making it, and it's the sort of thing that I'd buy it. I'd think it's cool. I'd have it sitting around for a while and then go, well, it doesn't go with anything. So it's got to move on. But
it screams of an impulse purchase. Yeah,
that's
one of them.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this next one I think is going to be an impulse purchase for a lot of people. It does look good, but I just don't know what the fuck. I wouldn't put it with anything. No. It's the Art Figures Edward Scissorhands, so 230 quid. It does look really good. Really, in my head, this is InArt level good.
Yeah.
Okay, it does look fucking
Yeah, that head
fantastic.
sculpt has come out a lot better than I thought it would. It's spot on. It's
100%.
And I was surprised that I didn't realise this was coming out so quickly, because the two went up for pre-order like.
We only
basically the
spoke
same time.
about it just before Christmas.
Exactly. This is the art figures, and then you've got the present toys one that's got the rooted hair. And then when I saw like Big Brady had done this, these are his photos.
Yeah.
It's like, fucking hell, it's out already. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's
Then you
pretty
can
good
buy a
time, mate.
figure and you've actually got it within, a month.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you'd go with the present toys. The outfit might.
After seeing
better.
this, and actually, realistically, if you really wanted to, again, that's just a suit and that's trousers and a top, because he doesn't take this off ever. He just puts stuff over it. But I don't know why you want to cover this up, because it looks that good.
It does, and the head sculpt is better than what what present toys listed.
Yes.
And I think it's brilliant. I mean, it's not something. Again, it's not. I don't mind the movie, and I've not watched it for a long time. So it's not something I'd be picking up. But I think if you're a massive fan and you can kind of get it into the display somewhere, it's really good.
There's certain figures that people buy because they think they're, not because they like where it's come from. It's more there's almost this imaginary prestige around having they can it's kind of like that and fucking Stuart Little. Do you know when we took the piss about there's certain figures that people like Bill from fucking Gangs of New York and
well, it's present toys are mopping them up now, haven't they? They've got incoming. They've got they did Van Gogh, all that
kind of stuff.
And,
this kind of fits into that. I mean, it's an iconic film, but it's not something that like there's a reason why there's not hundreds of fucking collectibles based on Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, it's got its place. It's an early Depp film. It's an early Tim Burton film, and you kind of see the where that kind of where they ended up. But it's very whimsical and stuff. It's not a film that I would say is one of my favourites, so that I'd watch over and over again. But if you want that representation, I think it looks bang on.
Yeah. I mean, it's objectively as a figure on its own, it does look really good. Really good.
Yeah.
So, Pete, let's have a look at everything that's coming out.
Coming soon.
More Star Wars.
More
Star Wars. So they announced the 20 years of Clone Wars.
Correct.
And they are going balls deep by all accounts. So this is the Armoured Obi-Wan. This is 250 plus postage at Q1, Q2 2024, so a year's time. I really like the look of this. I think the head sculpt is a bit strange. I think some angles it looks really good, other angles it doesn't. I think that they've done something with their head sculpts where the paint apps look fantastic. Like the flesh looks more like flesh. The hair looks more realistic. But it does something to the likeness where it just takes the edge off. Like if you went around and you showed people this, they would say that's Ewan McGregor. You can see it all day long. When you put a photo of Ewan McGregor up next to it, it's like they look. I know who it is, and I can clearly tell it is, and you can clearly tell it's good work. But it just something's not clicking for me with this new wave of stuff we're getting.
Yeah, I think it just seems to be like Ewan McGregor's one of these ones they just can't quite capture. They didn't manage.
It's the
it
beard.
With
it's this whole mouth area that throws it off. I think
they didn't manage it with Revenge of the Sith. They didn't manage it with the forthcoming Kenobi one, and this one. They're all it seems to be, and that Inigo one you've got is fucking brilliant.
It's by far my favourite. It's the only one I think I've.
I know it's meant to be a Revenge of the Sith look, but I think if you stuck that on this would look. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, you get away from it. You get away with it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So is this the one that they showed a long time ago when they showed Anakin, or have they tweaked it? Is it a different figure?
This is different. They've tweaked it a bit, I think.
Yeah.
So this is from the animated side of things.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I collectively, it's good. I like it. The head sculpt I can't quite put my finger on it. But you see that's always such a cop out though. I can forgive a slightly off scope because it's an animated inspired. Well, it's
No,
they've
either make
chosen
the
you.
animated one, or
They've chosen Ewan McGregor. They know what he looks like. But again, I don't think I think it's something to do with this new method, because you look at that, see where they've got rolling eyeball function.
Yeah.
That one in the middle, love it, phenomenal, absolutely love it. The one on the left, okay, it's a good sculpt. I quite like it. Even that one where he's holding the lightsaber says LED lightsaber.
The one on the right is
fantastic. Awesome. Everything on the right here, I'm like, I don't get why it's morphed. And I think a lot of it is to do with whatever they're doing with sculpts, however they've changed how they do it. They look more realistic, as in it looks more like a person, but I just don't think it's quite... Some of the likeness has been lost in it. Because I don't think anything we're going to talk about today is a terrible sculpt from Hot Toys at all. I don't want people to think that I'm going, none of them look any good and they're all shit. Like, I just can't
they're doing
quite...
fantastic work, but I think I like, and when we're going to look at, obviously, the big announcement of this week, then you think, like, and I know that there's a price difference and stuff, but and this looks, and I think a lot of people have been waiting for this. This to a lot of people is like their Obi-Wan that they want. Isn't it? This is the one they want, and I think it's just a shame that they haven't completely nailed the head sculpt. And people will put up with it and they'll justify it and stuff, and it will look good on the shelf. From 6 feet away, normal viewing distance, it will look great. It's just a shame they haven't. I think they're still struggling to nail McGregor as a head sculpt. But it looks cool.
Yeah.
To see who would display it with the helmet. And I know that takes out the head sculpt issue, but then it could be anyone then, couldn't it?
Pretty much.
I don't know how. Did he actually wear the helmet much in the show, or?
Yeah. So when in there's a Clone Wars there's a Clone Wars animation one that's before the Clone Wars.
Yeah, they're the
series.
only ones I've watched.
Yeah. So he wears it in that quite a bit.
Right. Okay.
He wears it in that, and he does wear it a couple of times, I think. Yes, I think that's probably like they're trying to get Obi-Wan and not McGregor. Yeah.
That's fine, and you can. And how does are we thinking that that's magnets for the cloak?
Yeah, probably.
Because there's no
I'd
holes
imagine
or anything in the armor, is there? So it must be magnets,
Yeah.
which is good. Which is a nice,
Yeah,
nice
I'd
touch.
imagine it magnetizes at the front there, but there must be something to secure it properly at the back, because it would just fall off. Yeah, because of the weights. There must be. You must clip in somewhere that we're not seeing.
Yeah.
No, I mean him wearing the helmet. He wears it more in that than he does in that the outfit. Yeah, you're right. The big towel thing he wears.
Is that a Phase 1 helmet?
Yeah.
I'm not up on all the helmets.
Yeah, that's a Phase 1 one. Oh, did anyone watch Bad Batch? The last episode of Bad Batch.
What, season 2?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't. So you have to.
Last night's the episode I watched last night. Fantastic with Cody coming back. Really, really good. Well worth a watch. But anyway, so that was Obi. Now we've got Super Battle Droids. So I can see a lot of people picking these up. So 230 quid plus postage, Q1, Q2 2024. Yeah, I like this. I think this is great. 230 though is probably a little bit out my price cap for it at the moment, but
because all you're getting the one swap out. Well, not even a swap out arm. You swap out the elbow, don't you? So he's got an arm missing. And it's funny because I've had to kind of. So I think I talked about it on a previous show. So my boy, he loves Star Wars, but he's always sort of been drawn to the non-human characters. So he loves the droids, he loves Jawas and stuff. He's not bothered about. He wouldn't have like Han or Luke on his shelf, but he'd have Jawas all day long. And so we've sort of started. I've pre-ordered the Geonosis battle droid, the V1 battle droid, to be his like first Hot Toys. and then they released that. They put up for pre-order the triple pack with the R5D4, the pit droid, and the is it B1 or whatever. So we ordered that for him. So that's going to be like his droid collection. Then this came along, and I showed it to him, and he does love them. But I was kind of like, you doesn't feel like you get a lot for your money. And obviously these are expensive things. We've already. I mean, hopefully the others will drop. The battle droid should drop before Christmas, and possibly the other ones. So they'll be like his Christmas presents or whatever. But I'm kind of like, it is good, but I think, like we can't justify buying this for you as well.
Yeah.
But it's cool, and obviously you can put it in like a Mandalorian display as well, can't you? For but yeah, it's cool. I like it. But yeah, I've had to kind of talk him out of it. If he comes to me and he's amassed 200 quid of his own money at some point, then I'll order one for him. But yeah, we're sort of we've ordered you like two sets, and that's like 400 quid's worth. So I think we need to leave it there.
Yeah,
and he'd love a droidica. Caffeinated Conference. I wonder if they'd do a droidica. That would be an instant PO because he absolutely adores those.
Have you seen the ones?
That's how he plays that in the Lego game.
Have you seen the ones that people have printed?
No, they're good.
I'll dig them out and I'll send you links. There's ones on eBay where you can buy the kit,
right?
And they're not massively expensive.
No, and they're a cool design. I do like the droidicas,
and they'd be relatively easy to paint as well.
Yeah,
because you're just spraying a black with a bit of silver. So I'll send you a link. They look really good.
I painted that. He's got the little ones from the role playing game, and they're not too bad. They're just brown and silver and a bit of red for their eyes. But
you can get files. You can buy files off of CG Trader and places like that. And there's a guy on eBay who sells them all ready to go. I've been tempted to buy the files for a while.
Be interesting because obviously they've moved on to clones now. And were there any in anything other than Phantom Menace? Did they appear later on?
Well, the droidicas, they're all the way through the Clone Wars.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, so in fact, there was some last night in the Bad Batch.
Okay.
So they're still very much there.
Yeah. No, that would be good. I'd definitely be interested in a droidica if they brought them out.
Yeah, and then we had old Mace here for 260 quid plus postage, out about the same time as the others. Now I know you're not a fan of the sculpt, but I don't mind this. I think this again. I think it suffers from the same thing as Obi-Wan, where the sculpt itself looks like a person. Like the skin is really well painted, but it just slightly misses the mark. But I know who it is, and I think it is a good sculpt. I just think there's some weirdness going on with Hot Toys.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones like. Yes, you know who it is, but it's one of those ones. If you took it away from the outfit, and you just maybe the one on the left again looks better.
The one on the left is fantastic. I love the one on the left.
So it's all about angles and stuff as well. I think the only reason that I was quite vocal about saying that I wasn't impressed with it is because I think they've done a better version. I think they've done a better Samuel Jackson before with the V2 Nick Fury, the one with the removable eye patch.
Yeah,
and that's what I used to do my custom one, and I just think that they've kind of gone backwards a bit. I think that was a better. I think they had the features a bit better, like the eyes and everything. And they had that already, and now they've kind of gone a bit. To me, it doesn't look. As you say, it all together with the outfit and everything. You know who it is, and it's decent, and it looks like a decent figure. But again, I think that they haven't nailed that likeness. And I got a lot of shit. A lot of people disagree with me and say, no, this is brilliant. I'm ordering this, blah, blah, blah. But it was nice that, like, Dean agreed with, Dean on CW. He said that he agreed that he didn't think it was as strong as their previous effort, which is a shame because you always expect, them to improve and to improve on what they've done before. Yeah. But and again, these prices, how much is 260 plus postage.
260. So it's going to come in about 300.
It's pushing up, isn't it? It's for You get
Yeah.
quite a few bits, but I would never use the armor bits and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
um,
A couple of years ago, this would have been an instant pre-order for me.
yeah,
Instant.
yeah,
Which is a shame because it would be nice to kind of bung in with the rest of my prequel stuff. But I just like I say, it'll be about 300 by the time everything's done and dusted.
yeah.
Just can't
I
justify
might try and pick up some of the bits if Craig parts one out. Maybe the tunic I don't think the sideshow stuff is that bad, to be honest.
The thing is that the Jedi robes are very simple.
Yeah, exactly.
They are meant to be like Hessian-y type
Yeah.
material, so
Yeah,
actually Sideshow didn't do that bad.
They didn't.
It's
not
only
really
that
as
sometimes
you say, there's
if
not
you
that
upgrade the
much.
body, they don't quite.
Yeah,
well
it's
done.
more the fit maybe. But as we've said before, a few safety pins, a couple of stitches do wonders. What you don't see behind him, you can pull it all in.
One thing they didn't do was like the arm wraps and things like that, like the bits that go under the robe.
Correct.
They didn't do bits like that, which Hot Toys obviously do, and now
But that's fairly easy to do. And I probably would look to pick the lightsaber up. Obviously, I would CCFL it, but the sideshow version of that hilt, the bad motherfucker hilt, is too thin to drill out and put a CCFL in. But obviously, this one, because it's got the gubbins in it, it should be wide. It should be big enough to be able to drill out and put a CCFL. So I would be interested in picking up the light up version of the saber as well. But yeah, it's not one that I'll be buying. The actual figure.
I'll tell you this next one though. I think everyone's going to be all over this. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special Mantis, 220 quid. This is the best part though. It's out Q1, Q2 2024.
So it's even going to miss the next Christmas.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I mean, it's the only Mantis that they've released, and you can take all the Christmas stuff off.
Yeah. So.
And it being Hot Toys, it will probably come out in the summer, not Q2.
Yeah. So apologise for Christmas. It's all bit done and dusted, but this dropped just after our last live show, and the special was good. It was entertaining, and I think
the only bit I didn't get was where they were going. Because I noticed on like a lot of Facebook stuff was kind of saying, they've dropped a bomb that Mantis is Peter Quill's sister, and I was like, I thought that anyway. Like I thought that was quite.
Everyone knew it apart from Peter.
Yeah,
I think this was yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that makes perfect sense. Like I didn't even question that wasn't a thing until they kind of made a big deal out of it, and I was like,
it's only in that she was taken by Yondu as well. It's not like they're actually biologically he stole a lot.
In this, she whatever the big planet thing she says is her.
Oh, Ego. That's
Ego,
right.
yeah.
That's right, because that's his dad, isn't it? So yeah, you're right. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but I never made the assumption that they weren't. I just thought that was the case anyway.
Yeah.
It was a weird one. I was like, okay.
But having said that, I think the figure's good. If you've got the Guardian set and you obviously wanted a Mantis, you just ditch all the Christmas stuff.
Anyone who collects all the Guardian stuff is way more patient than I will ever be.
Yeah, definitely.
Like if you've been
teased a long
waiting
time ago, wasn't she? A couple of years ago.
There's been some decent third-party ones in the meantime, and again, it's one of those. Actually, if you've got one of the third-party ones on your shelf, are you going to want to spend? What was I say? It was 220 plus postage.
Yeah.
Or are you going to go actually and find me what I've got?
Yeah, I think if it's the focus of your collection, that is your main thing or your only thing, then it's worth the probably worth the upgrade. But as you say, how many people are still collecting? There's only been one version of Drax, and that wasn't great. And they haven't bought out a Drax from this, so
no. A little bit of DC. Someone needs to be doing DC. So this is the Flashpoint.
Yeah, so I thought you'd like these.
Death Knell Love that.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I quite like this. So standard's 150, deluxe is 180. This is
So
at
you get
Q2
the
2023.
unmasked sculpt with a rooted hair on the top. Looks pretty good. So this is from the Titans, yeah.
No, this is from
okay.
the Snyder Cut.
Right. Okay.
This is him from the Snyder Cut. So that second one
Right.
is from the. So you see him on the boat at the end,
That's
talking
it.
to
That's
Lex
where I remember
Luthor.
seeing it
That's
from,
when he
yeah.
takes his helmet off and you see
That's it.
him.
Yeah, I think it looks really good.
And I think his armor in this second one is more from the Nightmare scene.
To car through that the anticipation for Aragorn is killing. I mean, no, we're not even talking about Aragorn tonight, are we? Just put his picture on the front just to get people to watch.
Yeah, Arrowhoot? Like, no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, in fact, I've made the decision to sell my Deathstroke and just keep hold of the Batman. So
yeah. But I liked the look of this. I thought it was pretty good for the money. It looks pretty good. The weather.
He looks really good. I really like the design.
What we've seen for Flashpoint has been alright, hasn't it? The stuff they've released.
Yeah.
That Flash was pretty good. The armored like Flash one and stuff. So yeah, I think.
Yeah.
It looks pretty grip.
Yeah, I like that. Like that.
Let's just keep teasing them a little bit longer.
Yeah, just a little bit more. And then SSR are doing the new 52 Batman. This is This is relatively cheap for them. 160 quid at Q3 2023. I don't like the new 52 Batman. It looks
shiny, silver and shiny.
It looks like Hasbro made it.
Yeah.
And I've always thought that it looks too basic. Although this new 52 Batman is packing a bit of a bulge on him.
He is. He's
he'd go great with the Batman Forever figures.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd put it in there because their stuff's pretty good. But as I say, it's a unique look, and it's not one that I'm a particular fan of. But I think that I like the rebreather look, like the one from the Suicide
that
Squad.
looks I like that.
That looks cool. Yeah.
So that was new 52. This looks great. This is the animated. This is again SSR for everyone listening at home. This is the SSR Clown, the animated style Joker, 160 quid again at Q2 2023. 2 head sculpts, shit tons of stuff. Love it.
Yeah, it looks really good. And this would go with who was it made the animated Batman? Was it Mondo?
Mondo.
Yeah.
But you can guarantee if SSR have led with this, they'll have an animated Batman. This looks great. This would pull me back into.
I know you'd be. I put it in there because I thought I know someone that would be tempted with this.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's fantastic.
Oh, we're still not quite there.
Still not quite there.
Yeah.
Still not quite there. This is a weird one. This is caustic plastic again with the Fonz. A standard for 240, deluxe for 350, an exclusive is 370 at Q4 2023.
Yeah, so
what the fuck is the difference between the three?
So the first one is basically the figure, one head sculpt, and that base. They've all got the magnetic base, so it's similar to what InArt are doing. So the Dracula I've got has got a magnetic base. So that comes with there. The next one up comes with the grinning sculpt, which I think isn't as strong. Doesn't look as good as the gormless expression.
The one on the left is way better.
Yeah, so you get the jukebox, and it's a proper Bluetooth speaker, basically. So,
okay.
So that's quite cool. So you can just.
I mean, it looks dog shit, but if it's an actual speaker,
it's dog shit. I assume it looks like it did in the TV show. I'm not a massive.
I mean, it looked like a jukebox in the TV show. It didn't look like a fucking suite.
It does look a little bit like a sweet, doesn't it?
It does.
Like it's made of licorice.
It looks like you should be able to pop the top off and just dick a licorice stick. It's just fucking.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, that's its USPs is that you.
They've even got the Apple symbol from the early 2000s as well in there.
I know.
Which is quite handy.
I know. It is weird, isn't it?
So weird.
So yeah, so that you get that, and then the exclusives, which if you're going for the jukebox one, you might as well go for this for an extra 20 quid. You get
The best part of Happy Days was where they put all their condiments just on the floor.
Yeah. So you get this gold sign. You get some mustard. You don't get ketchup to go with it, just mustard.
No, just mustard.
A bottle of Coke, and I don't know, whatever that is, some sort of early energy drink or a lager or something. I think I kind of like Caustic Plastic because every release they come out with is an oddball.
Yeah.
The Dracula, I absolutely love that. But everything they've come out with is stuff that you think, who the fuck's going to buy that? But they seem to be doing all right. They've got the.
I mean, I would have a 6-scale Fonz, 100%. I would do that, but I wouldn't. I would only really buy the standard. I'm not impressed by the other two versions because that jukebox is fucking horrific.
You're gonna play stuff through it like as soon as you get it, and then you'll never use it.
Oh, never do it again.
No,
never do it again.
No, or someone will come around and you'll go, oh yeah, look, it does this, but then you're not going to sit and listen to music, are you? But
no.
So I think they're doing really good work. I think that, but they're always going to be that sort of oddball one where they're doing the stuff that nobody else would even think of doing, but they're doing it well. I think they're.
It just looking at it just reminds me of. Do you watch Little Nicky?
Yeah.
Right at the end when he goes, "I give you this dear sweet little man, Henry Winkler, covered in bees," apps, and he's like, "What?" That's all I can think of when I see that.
Yeah, there's nothing to suggest that the jacket is leather either, and that sort of price you'd expect. It may well be, but you'd think that they would say real leather jacket, wouldn't you, in the description if that was something they were.
I don't quite remember his hands being that big either.
No.
Like the thumbs up ones, and where he's leaning against the jukebox is okay.
Freakily long, aren't they? Those the ones in his pockets.
Yeah, it's like he's broke both his wrists.
It's like he turned into a werewolf from American Werewolf in London.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a weird release. Here we go, Eric.
I think we got him in there.
I think we did right at the end. So this is, everyone knows, this is InArt Aragorn. The standard with sculpted hair is 275, and the premium with rooted hair plus extras is 395 out Q4 2023. So just in time to kick you in the bollocks before Christmas. I love this. I absolutely love this.
It is amazing. It's without doubt, in my eyes, the best, the greatest 1/6 sculpt ever. And obviously the outfit and everything's going to be bang on as well. But that head sculpt just sold me.
I even think
the rooted one is brilliant as well.
Yeah, I think
the sculpted.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I even think the sculpted is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that's there. Look at that.
Yeah. It's hard to tell the difference because of his hair is so slick and wet all the time. I mean, he don't look great. He don't look great there because he looks more like a shark. But that was a little sneak preview of that. Yeah. But I mean, for sculpted hair, brilliant. And the price of that is really not bad at all. 275. Looking at what you get and how good that is, I could justify 275.
Definitely.
Whereas I look at other stuff, like Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Straight away I'm like, I'm out. But actually, I could save for this. And this, I said I was out of Lord of the Rings, and I everything was going and going and gone. This is the type of thing where I could quite happily do it, get Aragorn, get a Frodo, and then upgrade the head and be done.
Yeah.
Just that's my Lord of the Rings bit done.
Yeah. So I think I think the 275 is a great price. So you're looking at 120 extra for the rooted hair, and that's the one that I've gone with, just because that is an absolute shrink ray. It's incredible, and having the the assurance that like we've seen.
You can actually bend the knee too. I love it.
We've seen how good that Joker's come out, and that for me was quite an important thing to see how well the production matched the because with the price of these things, they need to be amazing.
I just hope they keep it up.
Yeah.
That's my only worry is that we've had one.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
it, one.
So
we've all had companies that have released a decent figure and then not done that after.
Exactly.
But
so I pre-ordered this with 1/6 kit. I think there's a couple of little bits that need tweaking. The belt, I'm not so bothered about. The boots are a bit short, but people have mentioned that to them, and they've come back and said, "Oh, thanks for." So I think they'll fix that. They just need to be up near his knees. They're longer boots than that, so I think that'll be fixed. As regards the other extras, I mean, I've just bought it purely for the rooted hair. I don't know how you're going to display shards of Narsil because it's all bits.
Shards.
Unless you make a little altar and put a black, and it would look really good. All you got to do is get a little altar and put a black cloth over it and place them out. But realistically, I won't be. I'm not bothered about those. They'll probably stay in the box. You're paying the money for the rooted hair. I mean, you get all this. You get obviously the sword, the scabbard, the knife, bow, the scabbard, some arrows, the van braces from Boromir, magnetic base. But I mean, it's all about that shot there with him bending the knee.
Yeah.
And to be honest, any of these shots here look like they're studio shots of Vigo.
Yeah. My favourite one I've seen is the one where he's got the pipe and he's got everything kind of on. That's the proper kind of Strider look for me. The Ranger look.
And there's rumours that he might come with the hooded cloak.
Yeah.
Kit has said that he, as far as he was aware, that there was some talk about it coming with a, it might be a pre-order thing or whatever. But so that'd be nice if they give us the hooded sort of cloak as well. But yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with the sculpted.
That one there on the left is how I would display him.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Like, it's just fantastic. There's nothing there that I can go, that looks a bit shit. Everything there looks great. And we've said for ages, haven't we, like how any time a custom of this sculpt comes up, we're like, it's nearly there, but it's not quite there. It's such a hard likeness to get.
Yeah. And Dean Tolliver's done one, and it's okay. But it was never enough for me to go with it.
It's by far been the best so far up until this point. This is the one.
This is amazing.
This is the one sculpt to rule them all.
It is. So I ordered this, and then Kit sent out a message saying we're reopening Gandalf, and I wasn't sold on Gandalf on his own at the time because I don't think the sculpt is not as strong as this one.
Because what's its face have reopened Gandalf as well, haven't they? Asmus. They've done a lot of.
Well, they've offered the sculpt. You can buy the Gandalf the White sculpt on its own. So that's the thing that they announced this week. So obviously, if you've got the old original one, then that's quite a good upgrade. It's about $120. I haven't bought it just because I have no. If I hadn't pre-ordered the InArt one, then I might have picked it up and seen if I could, work it into a Gandalf the Grey. But because I've gone with Aragorn, I think I want to have the Gandalf as well.
Yeah.
Even though it's not as strong as this. I think, I would kick myself if I didn't pick him up as well. So again, my wallet is screaming. And it means I'm in for Legolas as well. Because I think if he's as good as this, and obviously they'll, with the rooted hair and the plaits, I mean, it might push him up to 500. You don't know, but I'd be happy with those three. I don't know what aspirations they've got to do others of the Fellowship. They may do. People are asking for it. I think Gimli's pretty spot on from Asmus. Yeah, the Hobbits would be good. Again, it's the head sculpts that have let them down a bit in the past, the Asmus ones. But would I pay 300 for a Hobbit? I think Aragorn is an absolute must. Gandalf is brilliant, not perfect but brilliant, and they may still tweak a few bits on that.
I think if you can get the InArt Hobbits and you can upgrade the head sculpts with those Dean Tolliver ones, you're pretty much there.
Asmus, you mean? Sorry,
Asmus, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and I have been tempted because I think the Frodo and the Sam are really good that he's done.
Yeah, I really want to paint those, but I don't have a Hobbit, so I'm never going to end up painting one.
Yeah, because I think everything else, like the outfits and everything of the Asmus ones, are fine. Yeah. But this shows what InArt, and I was a bit sceptical with the joke and everything, and again with Gandalf, but with this, there was never any doubt that I would be pre-ordering this. And I will keep my other one. I think I will keep the Fellowship display I've got because they work well together. Because this just needs to be, out on, it needs its own kind of display. So
it's a shame that you didn't get, like they kind of did with the Joker, where you get kind of a rooted hair and a sculpted, because you could have taken the sculpted head and put it on
my other one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and people have said, will they offer the heads? They might do, but you'd probably pay $250 for the head. So and I know a lot of people have bought more than one of these.
I'd 100% paint those for you, Mark. I want to paint them. They look good.
Nice. Yeah. And I think the hair looks good on them as well, because he offered them bald before, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then you've got to pay for them. But I think the hair on the Hobbits looks really good.
Because he offered the bald ones ages ago and was like,
correct.
We've got plans for the haired one. And I was like, when the haired one, because that was when I was going to do a Lord of the Rings collection. And I was like, as soon as those haired ones drop, I'll go back and I'll pick up the Hobbits. But since then, I've said, right, focus on Star Wars. The Lord of the Rings stuff is going to go. Because I've still got my Gandalf that I knocked up, and I was going to just get rid of all of it. But I was tempted. I wanted them. I wanted them. But
so I'm definitely in for Legolas now. Assuming that it's as strong as this. And then we'll see what else comes along. I don't plan on replacing the whole Fellowship, but never say never. We'll see. And as I say, I'm quite happy to let some other pre-orders slide, because I do love Lord of the Rings, and Aragorn's definitely in like my top 5 of like favourite movie characters or literary characters, or whatever. So, love it.
The thing is, the prices are getting so high now that it's almost gone so high that you kind of go, actually, if I'm going to get one of these, it's going to be the centerpiece, and correct. I'm going to build things around it. I don't, and that's why I don't think InArt will ever do like a complete line of something. I think they're going to do some quite main characters, and that's going to be a centerpiece, as opposed to going, we're going to do the whole Fellowship, and it's going to cost you near on like $8,000 for the whole lot.
Yeah, I don't see it myself. They might do Frodo.
Yeah.
And that would be good if they did Frodo, because you could have Frodo with Gandalf, you could have Frodo with Aragorn, you could have... I can't see them doing a Gimli, and how expensive would he be with real chainmail, with the beard and everything as well. And I think Asmus did a really good job. This definitely their best figure of anything they've done. Something like the Witch King, things that... I mean, I know Asmus did that, but that was a long time ago, and that's a lot of money if you try and pick that up. But Sauron would be great, but how expensive would he be? £1,000 probably, because he'd be the size of a third scale figure if they did him in metal and stuff. People say they want him, but yeah, I can't see that. But
I'm surprised we don't see more third-party figures from Lord of the Rings. I really am. I don't know why we haven't. Particularly when we've got, we got, because obviously InArt and fucking forgot their name now, Asmus. They've got licenses and they've been pumping stuff out. But when we talk about like Witch King, when we talk about Sauron and stuff like that, you just think, why, when you look at all the comic book stuff that comes out, you think, why haven't they been touched? Because people would buy them, 100%.
They would. I mean, there was that third-party ring wraith that Dean picked up and he said it's absolute dog shit. So, and that's not a figure that should be hard to get right. He's got no face for a start. And there is that horrible Aragorn coming out, which is it's like a rip-off of the ACI that I've got, but the head sculpt is like has been lost in translation, and his hair's like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even come out yet, so I think just to know whether anyone's actually going to buy that. I know it's a big price difference, but you'd be pissed if you'd ordered that because you couldn't get hold of an ACI or an Asmus one, and then you see this, and actually for $275 for the sculpted, that's not a lot more than you'd be paying for. I know the ACI one was going for well over 300. So when you think what you're getting here, even if you went for the standard, it's not that bad at all.
No, it really isn't.
And as you say, it's not that much more than Mace Windu, and I think you can see
when I scroll up
which
through
one's the better figure.
When I scroll up through the show sheet, right? So art figures with this Edward Scissorhands was $230. You had the Iron Man was $290. Spider Man was $315. I mean, look at this way. Quill, $210. Right, that's only 60 odd quid less. Chrome Mando, $315. Like,
that's the sculpted there, and that looks fantastic.
Yeah, that Obi was $250. Battle Droid was $230. Fuck me, Mantis was $220. Like, fucking do it.
And
like,
so I messaged John. I said I'm all aboard that InArt train now. I wasn't skeptical, but I wanted to at least see them get some product out, and I'm lucky that obviously that 1/6 reopened the Gandalf. Got him. So
I don't think it's a problem wanting to see them actually release something.
No.
If you've been in this hobby long enough and you just dive straight in and it turns out to be a bag of shit, you deserve everything you get. And it was slightly different within art because they were an established company, but
exactly, they got Queen Studio, so I think they were never going to be the Molecule 8, but they're delivering on the sort of quality that Molecule 8 were meant to deliver on.
It was that level of drop off I wanted to see, because I always thought they were going to deliver something that was good. But were they going to go, we're going to charge you top whack, and then we're just going to give you the same kind of quality as Hot Toys? Or, heaven forbid, something like Sideshow, and you go, oh, actually. But, we still have to bear in mind they've only released the Joker. Actual in people's hands.
He's shoveling the coal. And he's bearing his naked ass to InArt now. So it's good. I'm glad. I don't like the prices. I'm going to say it is a step up, but I can justify it on certain characters. And as you say, I don't think I'd really want them to do the whole Fellowship because that is a lot of money. The Asmus you could pick up like the 2 packs of the Hobbits for $200 when they first came out, but to think that you might be charged $300 each, it's a lot of money. Most people would just want Sam and Frodo maybe. I don't mind if they do Frodo, but then if they're going to make that body, then they're going to want to get their money's worth out of it, I suppose. And they are doing Harry Potter, but it's not the same because Hobbits are small. They're still too small. to reuse even a year one Harry Potter body is not going to work for, and obviously they've got massive fucking feet, hairy feet. But I don't know what the next one to solicit is, but
sure.
bring on Legolas. I can't wait to see what they do with him.
Yeah, they've done well with that. They really have.
So, yeah, star of the show. So that was it for coming soon.
That was it. So let's have a look at what we've been tinkering with.
Custom corner.
No, this is me having
disgusting, Peter. Disgusting.
It's just me having a bit of fun. So we did the Elf on the Shelf again this year. Now my boy's 12, and obviously he knows that he doesn't believe that it's a real elf or anything. But he said, "Oh, can we still do it? Because it's a laugh." He was meant to do some, and he didn't end up doing any. But one of the things my partner, she picked up this like shark. I think it was like £6 or something from B&M or whatever, and it's pretty big. It's about 37 inches long, and it had like quite comical, like the fins were a lot bigger than that, and they kind of looped over, a bit more like a sort of dolphin thing. So when we'd done the thing with the elf, like she gave it to me, I was like, "Oh, can I have it?" She's like, "If you want it, yeah." And so I kind of set to doing a bit of. I thought I've always wanted some sort of representation of Jaws.
Yeah,
I love Jaws. It's one of my favourite movies, and nobody's done it in 1/6. NECA have done, they've done Quint and Hooper, but you can't get a Roy Schneider figure because the family won't endorse his likeness rights. There's some very expensive, sort of busts of Jaws that you can buy and everything.
Yeah, I've seen some custom
thousands.
Bruce sharks, and they are
Yeah.
fucking expensive.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose, so I'll have a play with this guy. So I kind of, I did some surgery on the fins and like re-glued them, and then obviously gave it a repaint, and just kind of went to town on the blood and everything. So this is kind of like where he's just bitten Quint in half. But it's turned out really well. I just printed off a little sign and stuff, so that's kind of scratched an itch there that I've got a representation of Jaws in the collection now. So that was just a bit of fun to
Yeah, it looks good.
stick in there. Yeah, so I'll put that in there. That was my bit of tinkering.
Nice.
And I think that's it really. We've not really. I don't know if you've been watching much or still watching Willow. Really enjoying that.
I tried Willow, couldn't get on with it.
You're not? No.
No,
I think
I'll try again, but I think I
Yeah.
need to go back and watch the film first.
Yeah, I know a lot of people haven't been fans, but I think I've enjoyed it, and I think from like a production side, it looks really like they've gone all out on the effects and everything, and I'm really enjoying it. I think there's a new one yesterday that I need to watch, but yeah, I've enjoyed Willow. I was always quite a fan of the film anyway, so I think that's been good. But yeah, apart from that, Last of Us starts Sunday.
Yeah, I
Sunday or
want to
Monday.
watch that. That looks good.
That should be
That's
really
good.
good because I love the game. The games
Yeah.
are really good, and obviously it's Pedro Pascal, isn't
Pascal,
it? The
yeah.
Mando guy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
that should be good.
I've been watching. I finished watching The Rig last night.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's pretty good. Is that worth a
Yeah,
watch?
yeah. I thought it's worth a watch. Ending's a bit frustrating. They've definitely left it open for more,
Right.
but
Okay.
that was quite good. I've been watching. Obviously, The Bad Batch started up again. It was okay. It was alright.
Yeah.
Last night's episode was probably my favourite. Didn't have The Bad Batch in, but it was my favourite.
Right.
What I like about The Bad Batch is you're really seeing up close that period of time where the Empire have just kind of come in.
Right.
So you're seeing a lot of decommissioning of clone troopers and a lot of bringing worlds into kind of compliance and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But other than that, I've not really been watching too much stuff. I've been reading a lot of the Horus Heresy books. Like, well, I say reading them, audio books, because I can just
Right.
listen to them when I drive in. And if
Yeah.
you ever get a chance, the Horus Heresy. I'm on book 3, where things are starting to get a little bit tasty. They're really worth the 40k lore, and that is really good. The books are fantastic. So I've been reading a lot of that, and I'm kind of running out of stuff on telly to watch.
Yeah.
I think we watched Maverick over Christmas. That was really good. I was surprised how much I liked that.
It's a fun ride. It's good. We watched it again over Christmas, and
genuinely
I did
surprised how
find
much I like that.
smiling at that and getting on board. And we watched Wednesday actually. That was
Oh
quite good.
yes, finished that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Really
that
like
is
that.
really good. Yeah,
I was surprised that my boy liked it, because he's normally a bit squeamish with stuff.
right.
And
Yeah.
he watched it and loved it. Really enjoyed
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we didn't watch it with our son. We just watched it. But I think I didn't realise it was obviously Tim Burton before I started watching it, and I don't think he's directed all of them, but obviously he's involved with it, and Danny Elfman as well, whose music is always great. So
it was
well
really
worth
good.
a watch, and they've already announced that season 2's coming, so that is cool.
Yeah, I don't think other than that, I've not really been watching anything else.
No, we've got the new Ant-Man movie out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, watched the trailer for that. I quite like the trailer. I didn't think it was too
grab
bad.
me. I think we'll be going to see it because we picked up like a Groupon things. We've got like 10 Odeon tickets to use up in the next few months, so we'll probably go and see it. But yeah, I don't know. I think with this current wave of Marvel films, none of them have really like that whole excitement of the whole build up to Infinity War and Endgame and everything. They haven't managed to recapture that. I think like Wakanda was okay, Love and Thunder was okay, Eternals I didn't really like. So I think they're not quite where they were. That's how I feel about Marvel really. But yeah, I'll probably go and see it.
Something just popped into my head. And it's popped straight out again. It was like, I've got to peek this, and it's completely gone. It was about something was coming out soon, and I can't remember what the fuck it was. Yeah, if I remember, I will just butt in.
Just chime in, because we're kind of done with the show. We're going to go through all the housekeeping bits and pieces now. So but if you think of it, just shout out, mate. So we'll like to say a big thank you to our Patreonies. Some of you guys have been there since day one, and thank you for old Patreonies and new Patreonies. Keeping the lights on, keeping us in equipment and bits and pieces. So Sean Fear, CB, Rena Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Queen Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, love you Mark, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Van Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Breda, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, King Zach, Cesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bramonsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Carlo Valdez, Jose CZ, Owen Assassina, Illustrious Rainer, Alid Morgan, Takathy Wah, Derek Brzezinski, Aris Portillo, Mark Randolph, Joe Ridley, Pablo Mazer, Carlos Sevilla, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jim Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you all. I think what's great is that at one point these were just names on a sheet, and thanks. But so many of them are like friends now. They're on the shows and everything. It's just great. It's just kind of built a really cool community. And it's always good to see, we've got 2-3 new names on here, so it's nice to see that we're kind of still attracting new members that are happy to help support us. So if you want to join the Patreon, I'll just put a link in the chat. We also have these are the Patreon. So we've got $5 per month is the digital benefits. So you get digital copies of the stickers, and you get the Ox After Dark replay. The Sweet Angel, $7.50 a month, gets you the stickers sent straight to your doors with access to Ox After Dark replay. Stickers were sent out every other month. $15 a month gets you the Certified Crispy with official Certified Crispy certificate on a first pledge. Assistance with figure fixes by Zach or any of the crew. Reach out to me and Ian if you've got anything UK based that needs any attention. And then you got the What a Guy top tier, $25 a month, gets you the exclusive POG Deluxe set, doubles all the stickers we send, so you can give it to your friends and family, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. So for January, we've got the very popular Ox PD sticker. I don't know if you've been watching any of these, Ian. I fucking love them.
I'm so far behind. I'm ashamed to say I'm so far behind the loop when it comes to all the other shows. I just haven't had a chance to watch anything.
It's my favourite thing on the network at the moment.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Piss myself laughing every time. So yeah, we've got the these are the Zach and Dean's characters, and the sergeant, who I think is normally played by Manny. So we've got the normal sticker on the left there, but there'll be a limited number of chase stickers, which is obviously the guys with their hats on. So potluck. If you get a chase sticker, you got a rare beast there. So that's for January.
Am I right in saying it's a GTA mod?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So just download. Well, I've still got to download it, but I bought GTA on my Steam Deck, and I keep meaning to. Once I've completed another couple of games, I'll delete them and install it.
Yeah, it's a GTA mod, and obviously it's based around you being a cop, and it gives you different stories and missions and stuff. Or a lot of the time they just drive around, and they do like a license plate check on a car, and it'll come up that they're wanted for whatever, and they pull them over, and then obviously the guys do like voiceovers for it and stuff. So it's pretty funny. It's worth a look. So you can also support us on YouTube if you become a YouTube channel member. So we have got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, S-Beam, Andres IB, Dominator Sam Gist, Thomas Clark, Benjamin Hansen, Chris V, Big Old Fern, Cram, V Juarez, OG Fan, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Carlito, CT603, Eddie Mendez, Sear Dreams, Jay Sear, B Chan, Fat Batman, and Justin Sports Card Museum. So thank you to all you guys. Pardon me. Oh dear. If you're already a Patreon, you can join, become a YouTube channel member for 99 cents a month. Gets you loyalty badges, emojis, and member shout-outs on the show. Or if you're not a Patreon, you can still join the YouTube member, and it's known as the Peanut Gallery. You get the perks from the previous level, and obviously member shout-outs on the show. We still sell T-shirts. I don't know if anyone's been buying any, but if you want some swag for the various shows, have a look at TeePublic. There's normally a sale on, so and they're pretty good. I've got the old original Only Fools and Collecting one, and it's not too bad. So there we are. So yeah, I'll let you take us through. We've kind of got quite a rejig of the shows here. We've got some shows that have dropped off. We've got some new ones and everything. So take us through them, mate. I'm not even sure what the reissue is, to be honest. But
I think, if I'm right, it's where John gets hold of a reissued figure and smashes the shit out of it for 20 minutes with a hammer.
That would be brilliant if that's what it was.
Just him going to absolute fucking town on
railing on it. Just burning it up.
Fucking up.
Stuff.
Like Harrison Ford with his Han Solo figure, just absolutely destroying it. So this is us. This is everyone. This is the lot, the reprobates that are the network. So we've got Collecting Weekly live unboxing, where we take things out of box live. After Dark, which is only on when the sun comes down. The Collectors Club, which is the club that John uses in the reissue to smash the shit out of the figures. We have
It's a literal
Ox.
club, yeah.
We do. We have Ox PD, where 3 grown men roleplay as police because they've got a penchant for uniforms. We've got Question of the Week, which is why the fuck do we do this? We don't know, but it's a question that happens every week.
That's Brenton, that one.
It's Brenton.
Yeah.
We've got Live and Let Dice. Good, honest people who play tabletop games. Love it. We've got Bricks and Brews. People getting pissed up, shoving Lego blocks up their arse. We've got Small Talk, which is the teeny tiny side of life. Pose Wars, which is where 2 people pose completely stark bollock naked in a mirror, and each one has to pick which is the best pose by how much of a semi they get. And then you have OFAC, which is us, the jewel in the crown, the only show that's really, really worth watching. And the fact we've still got 20 people still watching now.
I know.
While one's just dropped off, one's had enough.
I noticed that our logo's got a bit smaller though. I feel like we've been shoehorned into a corner a little bit there.
I'm thinking, everything on the left has kind of gotten a little bit bigger. And, as the jewel in the crown is just getting shrunk.
We are, single-handedly keeping the international, the European, the UK side of stuff. Those 200 views a fortnight we get really make the difference here. Don't forget about us. We're doing we're doing our thing.
Yeah.
All those fans in Southend on the Sea.
That's it. Yeah.
They're not watching CW. They're coming for OFAC.
So, come celebration, they want to make that logo slightly bigger. Let's put it that.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's not far off. We're 3 months away now, aren't we?
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be really good.
Be awesome. Shit's going to get real pretty quick. And just as in case you didn't know, Dylan's taken a bit of a hiatus from Small Talk at the moment, but it's carrying on with Zach and Sean. And hopefully Dylan will be back fairly soon. But the show goes on. There's always people that, and honestly, if it was a better, if the timing worked for me, I'd be on it as well. But it's a bit of a tricky one at like 2 a.m. So
Cool.
So we keep it going, and then we've still got collecting weekly clips. I don't know if anybody's I don't know if that's kind of gone by the wayside, but it's been updated recently or not. Because I know Eddie used to do a lot of that, and John as well. But I think
the amount of stuff we've got, I'd be amazed.
Yeah, I think they still clip stuff, but it's probably more difficult now to get it going. But check it out if you want to have a look there. But a good show, and obviously Aragorn was always going to be our main focus, but we just kept you going till the end because I think
teaser.
I think, to be honest, it had to. We had to build up the suspense, and it was going to be the star of the show. So,
100%.
So it's been an expensive week for me. I've got 240 odd quid on 3 pre-orders. But I'm pretty happy about it, to be honest. It'd be good to have the DeLorean back. Now that I've got Doc, I think that's kind of, made me want to get
him.
Yeah, made me want to get it back. It's cool. It's cool, and I've got a while to find the Spondulix for him. So
I think
Gandalf's the first because I think he's due Q2.
I think all I've got on pre-order is that Present Toys Terminator because I want to see what that's like. And I've always, since I started collecting, I've always wanted a T2 Terminator. I've got Patrick Bateman on pre-order and the Back to the Future stuff. If Patrick Bateman comes in before the Back to the Future stuff, I'll grab it. If it comes in at the same time, I'll have to just get the Back to the Future stuff. Because the 2 Back to the Future through Doc and Marty's going to cost about 600 quid. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to sell, I'm just going to have to pump into that.
And I think worth a little mention. So obviously, as well as the the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, Hot Toys have unveiled, obviously, that they're going to be bringing out some figures for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi this year.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know that's your favourite. Like, that's the one you kind of grew up with, and that's your favourite. So, what would you be looking for? You know, aside from the Vader, which we're all expecting.
We're
just
always going to get Vader.
a shrunken down version of that excellent quarter scale you've got. What other figures would you be?
I would
tempted
be,
with?
well. If they did a Endor Han, I'd be up for that. But
I think
we haven't had an
we're gonna
Empire
get-
Han,
no.
so I don't think we're going to get
I
that.
know a lot of people have said it and they're optimistic, but I think Han is done. I don't think
Yeah.
we're going to see any more.
Yeah, and to be honest, they've done Luke to death, so I don't think we're going to get another Luke. Or we're saying that they probably will, but I can't see that happen. I
No,
wouldn't
it'll
go
just
for
be
it.
a reissue because I think they've covered
Yeah.
it. They've covered.
They've already done
all the different looks, haven't they?
They've already done Leia. The only thing they could do with Leia is probably give you a like Endor Leia where she's in the dress, like the Ewok Village.
Yeah, the Ewok
one.
Village one with her hair down and stuff. But
It wouldn't surprise me if we got another Lando, where he's in the general kind of
that
Lando
would be cool.
stuff. That would be
cool. So I know
pretty
a lot of
cool.
people want that.
Other than that, I don't know what else they would do.
It's a good excuse to get a 3PO out.
I
And then
was
you
thinking
Chewie.
Jabba. They haven't done a
I'm
Jabba.
not sure if they would. Do you think they
And
would?
well, I'm just thinking about, we've had so many Lukes, Han Solo's off the table. I think you're right. We'd probably get a C-3PO. They've done loads of R2s.
I don't know.
So you're probably going to get a C-3PO, and it wouldn't surprise me if we got a Jabba.
and they
it
might
really
give you the
wouldn't.
chair with 3PO and like
Yeah.
a
Little wicket chair thing that they.
base where you can have him like floating.
Yeah, we
I
might
think
get a new
Chewie-
get a new wicket. Maybe
Yeah.
a 3-pack with a few more little teddy bears.
Chewie would be good, but they did such a bad job on the Force Awakens one
Yeah.
that I'm not sure they'll revisit. It'd be
I
nice
don't.
to.
The problem is, looking at everything else they've released over the last few years, it's a little bit like they've kind of boxed themselves into a corner. Because at least with Empire, they hadn't done a lot of Empire stuff.
Yeah,
You're not.
yeah, they've
they
already
they
done a
will-
lot of Jedi stuff, haven't they?
They will probably release a 2.0 of Boba. We'll
Yeah,
probably
Emperor.
the Emperor would probably get another Emperor. But they've
Yeah,
already
Mark's like-
they've
Bush,
Go on.
Leia. I think that's
Yeah.
probably a given.
that's probably a good one.
That I might be interested
Skiff
in that.
maybe Landau Skiff Guard.
Yeah,
their
but then
version.
the sideshow one's pretty good. I've got the sideshow one, and it's a rare, decent, a decent one. And if you've got the helmet on, you don't really see the skull. So
Yeah.
I would consider.
We'd
a
definitely
Bush.
get stuff like a Gamorrean Guard.
Yeah,
definitely.
Gamorrean Guard would be interesting because I picked up the sideshow one, but it's an old figure, and that I might be tempted with. Maybe a bib. If they did Bib Fortuna.
Yeah.
Because that's a really old figure. I know you've repainted it and stuff, but I think that's
with a body swap and a paint up, it's
yeah.
blinding.
But yeah, maybe Bush would be like.
I'm pretty much just
number
looking
one
at what
that I
I've
might-
got there, and I'm going.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe some just updated ones there, but
But then if you're looking at the best part of 300 quid, it's not a cheap upgrade, is it?
I mean, I'm fine with those, to be fair.
Yeah.
The little Salacious Crumb I 3D printed, I'm more than happy with. But I was tempted to sell Jabba at one point, but actually I quite like him. And the newer Sideshow Jabba's just so fucking expensive and wouldn't fit in there because his tail's curled.
Well, yeah.
So
how
you
much
can
do
fit him
think
in those.
How much do you think a Hot Toys one would be?
I reckon if they did it with so I reckon what they would do is they'd do it as a couple of releases. So you would get like a deluxe with the slab. He's like Jabba's throne.
Yeah, made out of cardboard.
Jabba, made out of cardboard. You get a little cardboard cat of Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
So you get like that. He's
he's just flat, and he's got like you just slot him in.
Yeah,
to the
that's
little
it.
a
You
little,
just bung
a little,
him in there.
A little hole in the cardboard throne. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you probably get that, the barbecue pit, the all of that paraphernalia that you got as standard with the latest Sideshow release.
Yeah.
I reckon you'd look at 500 quid for the top tier, It would be vehicle prices we're looking to how
Yeah.
big it is.
Yeah.
And then they'd probably do him on his own for like a couple of £100.
Yeah. I think if they did do Jabba, they'd have to do Bib, because I think they go hand in hand. If you were going to pose him with, they're never going to bring out the Hut Slayer layer.
Yeah.
Officially, that's never going to come out. You can do a good custom. I've got a decent custom.
Yeah.
So I think you've got to have him a Bib for tuner, really, and that's quite cool, because but then I wouldn't pay £300 for Bib.
Mind you, have you seen the price for the sideshow one? Fucking cunts want like £200 for it.
Oh, I know.
I got him loose, missing a couple of bits for, I think, £80, and even then I was like, I remember when you couldn't. Yeah, I remember when you could get those box for about £50. You'd have hard time shifting it. Like,
the problem is that people have built up a decent like Hot Toys Star Wars collections, but there's figures that Hot Toys haven't done. Yeah. And if you want to fill those gaps, you've got to go sideshow, and I think that's what people are sort of working on, isn't it? That if you want a Bib, this is the only one that anyone's ever made, so I'm going to charge you this for it, and you either go for it or you hang on and wait to see what Hot Toys is going to bring out. So I think maybe Leia Bouche, possibly. See, I find it hard to skip the Vader, but I've already got 2 Vaders, and I've got the Kenobi one coming as well.
What they'll do is they'll take that Vader, they'll shrink it down and give you that head sculpt, and they'll charge you a fortune for it.
I know. So,
The thing is, I've spent a lot of time on my 6-scale Vader. I've got multiple head sculpts for it. I've got an unmasked head sculpt for it. I've got a young one. I've got an old one. I don't need another Vader. I'm happy with it. And plus, I've got the quarter scale with that fucking awesome Alec Guinness. Not Alec Guinness scope. Fuck it. So yeah, that's it. Sebastian Shaw scope.
Yeah.
So I don't need. I'm perfectly happy with that and my 6-scale Vader. I don't need. I don't need another one. I can't see them releasing something that's going to make me go,
So that's the only one that we know 100% they're going to bring out. Yeah. It's going to be north of £300, because obviously you'll have the unmasked sculpt, so that'll be hard to resist. But I think, as I say, I'll have 3 Vaders by that point. I'd be looking at something that was a little bit different, or that Sideshow had done and nobody's done a decent version of. But Bouche maybe would be quite cool, because if you had a holding the helmet, but it'll be the same head sculpt that we've seen. Oh yeah, just with slightly rejigged hair.
Yeah. More Mothma would be pretty cool.
Yeah. General Maydeem with his bowl haircut.
Give us an Akbar.
Akbar would be cool. Might be. I could get my missus Akbar. She loves Admiral Akbar. Yeah, buy it for her.
Problem is, it's really hard. It's really hard because with Empire and the first Star Wars film, there's lots of characters there that they've done.
Yeah.
Particularly when we get into Empire territory, and because they've always been dipping their toe consistently in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
When we go, okay, it's 40 odd years, what are they going to do? You go, they could. Oh no, they won't do that because they've already done that. And then the Mandalorian's not helped the situation because they've released a lot of Mandalorian versions.
Yeah.
That are the same as the Return of the Jedi versions. That you kind of go, oh no, they've done that.
Yeah, and so I think we'll see a lot of reissues. They'll reissue Luke again. They'll reissue the Stormtrooper. They'll reissue Palpatine.
I don't know if they'll do Luke. I don't know because they've done that so many times.
Yeah.
Palpatine, they've done that once. It wouldn't surprise me if they just reissue it. But I don't know what you would give that or take away from it.
No.
To make it any different.
Without the throne, just did it as a.
Yeah, or unless they actually made a throne that wasn't fucking a mini throne, and they gave you, I don't know, a Luke's saber or something, so you could put him in a chair.
Yeah, I think a general Lando would be good, and maybe an Ian Num to go with him because he's quite a cool look.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want them to just reuse the Lando sculpt that they did is decent, but I'd like to, if they just rehash that sculpt again, that's a bit lazy. It'd be nice to have a slightly different sculpt, and the outfit's quite cool.
He looks a fair bit different between.
He does.
Between
Definitely looks different. But yeah, so it's interesting. It's all good. It's all good to hit another anniversary and have some more more figures coming.
More Star Wars is always good for me.
Exactly.
Quite happy with it.
So watch this space.
Yeah. So I think that's us. We're sorted.
Yep. Yeah. Cheers for watching, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
19, so that's pretty good. Hope
19 people listen to us rabbit on for a bit. I'm more than happy.
Yeah, well, hopefully everyone enjoyed the Aragorn part, and obviously, hopefully everyone that wants one's managed to get an order in. But yeah, it's a real game changer, definitely.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Cheers, guys.
Yep.
Thanks very
Cheers,
much,
everyone.
and we will catch you next time.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.